Your eyes finally open. Mother shall be pleased.
What? What?
Back in the wilds, of course. I am Morrigan, lest you have forgotten, and I have just bandaged your wounds. You are welcome, by the way. How does your memory fare? Do you remember Mother's rescue?
I don't remember everything. She rescued me from the tower.
Mother managed to save you and your friend, though 'twas a close call. What is important is that you both live. The man who was to respond to your signal quit the field. The darkspawn won your battle. Those he abandoned were massacred. Your friend, he is not taking it well.
What an asshole! What happened to the Grey Wardens and the king?
All dead. Your friend has veered between denial and grief since Mother told him. He is outside by the fire. Mother asked to see you when you awoke.
Whoa. First, I do have a couple of questions here, if you don't mind.
I do not mind. Take your time.
Good. So, are we safe here? What about the darkspawn? I mean, this place is filled with them, right?
We are safe, for the moment. Mother's magic keeps the darkspawn away. Once you leave, 'tis uncertain what will happen. The horde has moved on, so you might avoid it.
Interesting, so they might not actually be here anymore. Now, the interesting question here, why did your mom actually save us?
I wonder at that myself. But she tells me nothing. Perhaps you were the only ones she could reach. I would have rescued your king. A king would be worth a much higher ransom than you.
I'm kind of a novel.
I stand corrected.
Good. Now, my next question. Do you get makeup here in the forest, in the swamps? Because your eyes look awesome. I don't know where'd you get that, but that's good. How did she manage to rescue us, though?
She turned into a giant bird and plucked the two of you from atop the tower, one in each talon. If you do not believe that tale, then I suggest you ask Mother yourself. She may even tell you.
And that might even be correct, since, well, I mean, they're witches. They can do whatever they want, I guess, if they can turn people into toads. Maybe they have the ability to turn into giant ravens. Who knows? Are there any survivors beside us?
Only stragglers that are long gone. You would not want to see what is happening in that valley now.
Yeah, maybe not. So, why would Teyrn Loghain abandon the king?
I do not know who this Loghain even is. Perhaps ask Mother of it.
Okay, well, I think that's enough.
I agree. 'Tis time you speak with Mother, then be on your way.
You are required to do nothing, least of all believe.
Hey, what's going on, dudes? My name is MrRhexx, and we are back with some more Dragon Age. On the last episode, well, terrible things happened, boys. It was pretty bad. We kind of got betrayed by Teyrn Loghain. He withdrew his troops when we needed him the most. You see, our tactic was for the king and the Grey Wardens to, I guess, bring the darkspawn into the fortress, so that then the actual army would attack from behind and the sides, and I guess in all essence outmaneuver them, which would have been amazing, except that the entire army fell back when they were supposed to charge in, and it's gonna be up to us to, well, figure out what the hell is going on, and if there's a culprit, bring him to justice. But apparently we were saved by Morrigan and her mother, which is kind of interesting. Not much you can do here inside the cabin. You can just open up this chest. Really, there's nothing here. Just this actually from another quest. We'll have to get back here eventually. Look at those skulls, man. Anyways, they're gonna be there's gonna be a lot of dialogue in this episode, guys. It is a very story-intensive episode. There's literally no combat, like straight up, literal no combat in this episode. It's all gonna be dialogue. So strap in, make yourself comfortable. There'll be a lot of it, okay? Nothing else to do inside here, so why don't we just first talk to her and then leave?
You must speak to Mother, then be gone. You have an army of darkspawn to avoid, and 'twould be best to get an early start.
Well, that sounds good. First, why do you think she wants to see me?
I do not know. She rarely tells me her plans.
Well, that's not really that much information. What about my injuries? Are they too bad?
Yes, but I expect you shall be fine. The darkspawn did nothing Mother could not heal.
Okay, what about Alistair? Is he okay?
He is, as you are. I suppose it would be unkind to say he is being childish.
Alright. I don't know, man. Those were his friends that died over there.
And you think they would encourage his blubbering? If so, they are not the sort of Grey Wardens the legends note.
Apparently we are very popular. People know us. Alright, let's go.
I will stay and make something to eat.
Yeah, you do that. Wow, we are very, very close. It's getting a little uncomfortable here. Let's just leave. See if we can talk to her mother.
See, here is your fellow Grey Warden. You worry too much, young man.
You're alive. I thought you were dead for sure.
Nah, I'm okay. Thanks to Morrigan's mother.
Oh, this doesn't seem real. If it weren't for Morrigan's mother, we'd be dead on top of that tower.
Do not talk about me as if I am not present, lad.
I didn't mean... But what do we call you? You've never told us your name?
Names are pretty, but useless. The chastened folk call me Flemeth. I suppose it will do.
The Flemeth? From the legends? Daveth was right. You're the Witch of the Wilds, aren't you?
And what does that mean? I know a bit of magic, and it has served you both well, has it not?
Flemeth? But if you are Flemeth, then you must be old and powerful.
Must I? Age and power are relative. It depends on who is asking. Compared to you, yes, on both counts.
Then why didn't you save Duncan? He was our leader.
I am sorry for your Duncan, but your grief must come later. In the dark shadows before you take vengeance, as my mother once said. Duty must come now. It has always been the Grey Warden's duty to unite the lands against the Blight. Or did that change when I wasn't looking?
It did, when everyone died.
If you think small numbers make you helpless, you are already defeated.
But we were fighting the darkspawn. The king had nearly defeated them. Why would Loghain do this?
Now that is a good question. Men's hearts hold shadows darker than any tainted creature. Perhaps he believes the Blight is an army he can outmaneuver. Perhaps he does not see that the evil behind it is the true threat.
The archdemon.
The archdemon? What is it exactly?
It is said that long ago, the Maker sent the old gods of the ancient Tevinter Imperium to slumber in prisons deep beneath the surface. An archdemon is an old god awakened and tainted by darkspawn. Believe that or not, history says it's a fearsome and immortal thing, and only fools ignore history.
So the humans can be tainted, the dwarves and elves can be tainted, even the Kunari can be tainted. Now we're told that even gods can be tainted. Very, very interesting. Will you help us fight this Blight, Flemeth?
Me? I am just an old woman who lives in the wilds. I know nothing of blights and darkspawn.
Well, whatever Loghain's insanity, he obviously thinks the darkspawn are a minor threat. We must warn everyone this isn't the case.
And who will believe you? Unless you think to convince this Loghain of his mistake.
He just betrayed his own king. If Arl Eamon knew what he did at Ostagar, he would be the first to call for his execution.
Arl Eamon, the Earl of Redcliffe.
I suppose. Arl Eamon wasn't at Ostagar. He still has all his men. And he was Caelan's uncle. I know him. He's a good man, respected in the Landsmeet. Of course, we could go to Redcliffe and appeal to him for help.
That actually sounds great. Sounds like an excellent idea.
Such determination. How intriguing.
I still don't know if Arl Eamon's help would be enough. He can't defeat the Darkspawn horde by himself.
Surely there are other allies we could call on.
Of course! The treaties. Grey Wardens can demand aid from dwarves, elves, mages, and other places. They're obligated to help us during a blight.
I may be old, but dwarves, elves, mages, this Arl Eamon, and who knows what else. This sounds like an army to me.
So can we do this? Go to Redcliffe and these other places and build an army?
It doesn't seem like we have any other option at this point. Why not? Isn't that what Grey Wardens do?
So you are set then? Ready to be Grey Wardens?
Apparently so. I don't suppose you could offer any more help, though.
Now that you mention it, I do have one more thing to offer.
The stew is bubbling, Mother dear. Shall we have 2 guests for the eve, or none?
The Grey Wardens are leaving shortly, girl. And you will be joining them.
Such a shame. What?
You heard me, girl. The last time I looked, you had ears.
So wait, hold on. Thank you, but if Morrigan doesn't wish to join us...
Her magic will be useful. Even better, she knows the wilds and how to get past the Horde.
Have I no say in this?
You have been itching to get out of the wilds for years. Here is your chance. As for you, Wardens, consider this repayment for your lives.
Hey, I'm not gonna complain, honestly. She looks like a pretty badass mage, to be honest, and she's awesome and pretty hot, as you guys have been writing in the comments for the past couple of videos. Yes, guys, she is very hot. Alright, we'll take her with us.
Not to look a gift horse in the mouth, but won't this add to our problems? Out of the wilds, she's an apostate.
If you do not wish help from us illegal mages, young man, perhaps I should have left you on that tower.
Point taken.
Mother, this is not how I wanted this. I'm not even ready.
You must be ready. Alone, these two must unite Ferelden against the darkspawn. They need you, Morrigan. Without you, they will surely fail, and all will perish under the blight. Even I.
I understand.
And you, Wardens, do you understand? I give you that which I value above all in this world. I do this because you must succeed.
No pressure, of course. I understand.
Allow me to get my things, if you please. I am at your disposal, Grey Wardens. I suggest a village north of the wilds as our first destination. 'Tis not far, and you will find much you need there. Or, if you prefer, I shall simply be your silent guide. The choice is yours.
Whoa, that's cool. No, you can talk. I actually have some questions.
I may have answers. Ask.
So how about this place you just mentioned? Let's see.
'Tis a small place of little consequence called Loghain. No more than a stop along your imperial highway where travelers purchase goods from local farms and smiths. I would go more often were it not for the town's chantry. It makes the village particularly intolerant and unpleasant for a stranger such as me.
A chantry? And they never in all this time thought that maybe you were a witch?
Of course they have. They even called out their Templars once. They found nothing.
Or you kill them. That's what I would figure a daughter of Flemeth would do. But are you really, though, her daughter?
'Twas she who raised me, and thus I consider her my mother, born from her womb or not. 'Tis what you meant, yes?
I guess. You speak in riddles, so it's hard to tell if that's what I meant, sure. It's just, I'm just wondering about her age.
She would no more tell me than you, I assure you.
Alright. Have you ever been outside of the wilds?
From time to time. I have been to the village I mentioned, watched its people, and pondered what curious beings they are. On occasion, I purchased goods from the village merchants. There I spoke with men a little. There they stared and knew me as an outsider. Mother wishes for me to expand the horizon of my experience beyond the wilds. Even she was not born here.
Okay, isn't that what you want?
What I want is to see mountains. I wish to witness the ocean and step into its waters. I want to experience a city rather than see it in my mind. So, yes, this is what I want. Actually, leaving is harder than I thought, however. Perhaps Mother is right. It must simply be done quickly.
Perhaps. How are we going to get past the darkspawn?
The real question is how we are going to get your friend past the darkspawn, is it not?
That's true. We can sense the darkspawn. Conversely, they can sense us.
I don't sense anything.
You won't right away. No. It takes time. We should be able to sneak past smaller groups, but larger ones, or particularly intelligent darkspawn, will always detect us.
Mother has given me something else for them to smell instead as we pass by. 'Tis important we head out of the wilds, however, not farther in.
Yeah, I'll make sure of that. The darkspawn are camped farther in the forest.
They come from underground, like an eruption. They broke through deep within the forest, and that is where they will be most concentrated.
Yeah, we'll make sure to avoid that, I suppose. What skills do you have exactly? If we're gonna have you with us, might as well just know what you're good for.
I know a few spells. Though I am nowhere near as powerful as Mother, I have also studied history and your Grey Warden treaties.
Can you cook?
I can cook, yes.
Well, then you can substitute Alistair.
Right, my cooking will kill us. That's all I meant.
I also know at least 15 different poisons that grow right here in this marsh. Not that I would suggest 'tis at all related to cooking.
She's amazing. I love her so much. Alright, I have no more questions.
Farewell, Mother. Do not forget the stew on the fire. I would hate to return to a burned-down hut.
Bah! 'Tis far more likely you will return to see this entire area, along with my hut, swallowed up by the blight.
All I meant was...
Yes, I know. Do try to have fun, dear.
And there you go. We do get a codex for Flemeth. Then we can discover a little bit more about her, but... Dragon Age. Dragon Age. Instead of doing the normal pop-up that I usually do, I want to tell this story myself, because you guys seem to like that the last time I did. And it's a really cool story, so just enjoy the swamp a little bit here. But yeah, the story of Flemeth. So once upon a time, in the beautiful city of Highever, which is where we were born, of course, a beautiful, beautiful girl was born that showed affinity for magic. That was Flemeth of Highever. Now, Ban Conabar fell in love with this girl, and they married. They were actually happy for a while until a bard came. This bard seduced Flemeth with his songs, and, well, obviously Flemeth kind of decided to go with him. Because of that, she knew that the band was gonna hunt her forever, since he was kind of the jealous type, I suppose. Because of that, she actually ran with the bard into, well, here. The swamp. There they lived for a while, pretty much happy thereafter, until years later when the note came to them, a message from the band telling them that the band was actually sick and was dying, and that his last wish before he died was that he wanted to see the Flemeth's face one last time. They agreed, reluctantly, went on to meet the guy. Turned out it was a trap. The guy wasn't dying at all, killed the bard, and made Flemeth his prisoner in the highest tower of the city. There, Flemeth conspired to take revenge upon the band. Using blood magic, and remember that I told you guys that she was a mage, using blood magic, she summoned an abomination in hopes that the abomination would kill this band. As it happens, as it usually happens with blood magic, the abomination instead took control of Flemeth, and using her as a host, he killed the band and every single one of his men. After that, history, legends just say that Flemeth ran into the wilderness here, into the Gorkari wilds, and hid. The chasing here from this area tell tales of this monster, of this Flemeth abomination, stealing the men from their camps and making children with them. These children becoming witches of the wilds. You see, for once there's a story that tells of an army of witches from the forest that united with the chasing of the swamps to create an army that assaulted Ferelden. Eventually the barbarians of the Alamari, which were the people that used to live here in Ferelden before, joined together using this champion called Cormac, which was a hero of the Alamari. He grouped up all the barbarians of Ferelden and battled this army of witches and chasing and drove them back. A lot of witches were burned in that war. However, Flemeth wasn't actually killed. In fact, legends say that she still resides here in the forest, seducing men, taking them, having babies with them, and raising the babies as witches of the wilds. Now that's what the story says. That's the end of the legend. Now she claims to be Flemeth, and well, it says there she's Flemeth. Whether she is or not, well, we don't know yet. There's a lot of allusions through the game that tells us that she might be, she probably is, but that the story might not be entirely true. There's a lot of details that have been left over and a lot of things that have been exaggerated. In fact, talking to Flemeth through the game will tell you that the story with Cormac and the barbarians wasn't actually true, that the Witches of the Wilds weren't even in that army of the chasing. But whether that's true or not, I guess it depends. We'll see as we continue with the game, but I myself find it very, very interesting.
The time has come to leave the wilds. Do you not agree?
I do agree, but I, however, want to talk about to Flemeth a little bit more about this.
Have you not left yet? I hope you are not hanging about for some stew.
No, I'm not, but now that we know the story of Flemeth, I think it's going to be more interesting to know a little bit more about her and to see what she has to say. If she's this abomination, then in fact, this is going to be a very interesting conversation. You could come with us, you know.
I prefer to remain here. Considering what the world has done to me, I have already done more than it deserves.
Alright, well, what have the world done to you?
That is between the world and me. Your business is elsewhere.
Okay, but you're more powerful than we are.
It is not a matter of power. No one person in all of Thedas has enough power to stand against a blight. Were that the case, sending you two would be quite the jest. What is important is that you are both Grey Wardens. Your task is to unite the land, inspire its men, and turn them from their petty politics to face the archdemon. In that, you are more powerful than I by far. I am but an old woman whom the world has largely forgotten.
Could you answer some questions?
Questions. One would think a Grey Warden would be more interested in action.
That's probably what you're all saying down in the comments. Come on, Rex. Let's kill some darkspawn. You're sitting here talking. Guys, it's story time. I told you guys from the beginning. Can I ask you about your magic?
What good would it do you? You are no mage. It is sufficient that I have passed on my knowledge to Morrigan, and I pass her on to you.
Like a worn dress or an old pair of shoes.
Are you still here? You cannot give them away, apparently.
Apparently not. How long have you lived in the wilds?
Since before I was wrinkled and old. You may think it strange, but I was once young and beautiful, just as Morrigan is now. Yes, men desired Flemeth then, and some even killed for her.
And you don't seem happy about that.
I am not, nor was I then. It dictated all that followed. But enough. You have your task to complete.
See, that's what I find very interesting, that if she was pretending to be Flemeth, then she would be more happy about her story and would probably want to talk about it more, but she seems not very fond of it. Traumatized, sad about her life. She might actually be the real Flemeth, and I actually do believe she is. Like, just telling you guys straight up, I think she is. It's just gonna be a matter of figuring out if the story that the Codex says is actually all true or not, which is the interesting part. Now, what will you do once we're gone?
Have a moment's peace for once.
I hear the peace of the grave is eternal.
This is the thanks I get for feeding you and putting up with you for this long. May your child one day treat you the same.
Feed me, she says. Without me, I swear, she shall be caked in dirt and eating tree bark inside of a month.
Jesus. Do you have any advice?
About the darkspawn?
Honestly, just anything.
Then hear this. I laugh at a world full of stupid humans who ignore the Blight's evil and abandon their vigilance to chase mortal goals. Remember, it is up to you to destroy the Blight. Pray not for someone else to destroy it. It will always nip at your heels.
I will say, though, that's one of the coolest quotes in this game. Just straight up. She's awesome. I have no more questions.
Then we are done. Now, if you will excuse me, I have some dinner to eat.
So there you go. We just had a conversation of the Flemeth of Legends, probably the most powerful being, according to the story, of at least this whole region. There's probably more out there in the Winter Imperium where mages are more allowed to do what they want. But we're pretty much done. All we have to do is have a little conversation with Alistair before we leave. He must be pretty horrified at what happened to all the Grey Wardens. They were his family, after all.
What do you need?
I need to talk to you, dude. You want to talk about Duncan?
You don't have to do that. I know you didn't know him as long as I did.
Well, he was your friend, though. He was like a father to you.
I should have handled it better. Duncan warned me right from the beginning that this could happen. Any of us could die in battle. I shouldn't have lost it, not when so much is riding on us, not with the Blight and everything. I'm sorry.
I understand, my friend. There's no need to apologize.
I'd like to have a proper funeral for him. Maybe once this is all done, if we're still alive. I don't think he had any family to speak of.
What about the other Grey Wardens? Or actually, I'm gonna say he had you. It's more, yep.
I suppose he did. It probably sounds stupid, but part of me wishes I was with him, in the battle. I feel like I abandoned him.
He did save your life, though, by sending you to the tower.
Yes. I know. I think he came from High Ever, or so he said. Maybe I'll go up there sometime. See about putting up something in his honor. I don't know. Have you had someone close to you die? Not that I mean to pry, I'm just...
Well, I mean, my entire family was murdered in front of me. Just recently.
Oh, of course. How stupid of me to forget. Here I am going on and on about Duncan, and you... I am so sorry. Thank you. Really, I mean it. It was good to talk about it, at least a little.
Well, glad that you're feeling better now and that you brought up my whole family dying. That's okay. But hey, look, maybe I'll go to Hyrule with you when you go.
I'd like that. So would he, I think.
Sounds great. Well, Alistair approves +5. Great. It's kind of interesting. We get another person who's also from High Ever. So Flemeth was from High Ever. Duncan apparently was. I was. It kind of goes to show just how big High Ever actually is, because they don't show it at all in the game. Straight off, like, there's not going to be a single mission that's going to take us there anymore. Which is kind of lame, but it shows you how big it is. Just based on, at least, this episode, if anything. But that's pretty much it for this area. I want to see if darkspawn can... No, I'm going to say anything. Find something. Do you see anything interesting? Darkspawn returns with what looks to be a 100-year-old bottle of wine. Dust still clings to it. Again, boys, it's really random how this works, but have to ask him every now and again for him to find things, and he'll do so. Anyways, there's nothing for us to do here, boys. We are done. A lot of conversations here, guys. I'm sorry for this episode. Because if you wanted to get some action, just don't worry. There'll be more tomorrow. For now, let's check out this place she calls Lothering.
And I expect each of you to supply these men. We must rebuild what was lost at Ostagar, and quickly. There are those who would take advantage of our weakened state if we let them. We must defeat this darkspawn incursion, but we must do so sensibly and without hesitation.
Your lordship, if I might speak. You have declared yourself Queen Anora's regent, and claim we must unite under your banner for our own good. But what of the army lost at Ostagar? Your withdrawal was most... fortuitous.
Everything I have done has been to secure Ferelden's independence. I have not shirked my duty to the throne, and neither will any of you!
The Banorn will not bow to you simply because you demand it.
Understand this. I will brook no threat to this nation from you or anyone.
Bantegan, please!
Your Majesty, your father risks civil war. If Eamon were here...
Bantegan, my father is doing what is best.
Did he also do what was best for your husband, your Majesty?